I was not expecting the Hound at all.
Yep.
Holy shit. We're back again, episode 7, season 6 recap. Oh man.
Yeah, this was a good one. Another good one.
First episode,
obviously.
Or, not first episode. First scene in the episode. They didn't do the normal opening. They cut straight to the show, and we were like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
I thought it was a flashback to something else.
It starts out, and you can kind of hear the music in the background, like and then there's these people building like this thing. You're not really sure what it is. It's just out in the middle of nowhere, basically.
Yeah.
And you see all these men carrying this one log. It's like 5 men, and they're carrying it up so that they're to continue building the thing. And then behind them, there's one guy carrying a log the same size. And you're like, holy God, who's that?
Yeah.
And then he puts it down, turns around, and the camera rises up. And it's the Hound. It was awesome.
And then they cut to the regular opening with the
credits.
The credits and
the Hound was seen a couple times during this episode, and he has the last scene in the episode as well. So I'm really curious as to how, what we're gonna see next from him. And fingers crossed, Clegane Bull. He's hopefully gonna fight them out.
That'd be a really big telegraph for him to be like saved by this like religious group. And then this other religious group asks him to like fight Cersei or his brother. Mm-hmm. But it could be him. I mean, it would make sense, but at the same time, it's like ugh. A big scene this week was Marjorie going to see Lady Tyrell.
Yeah,
and basically, you can kind of tell that Marjorie was not quite as brainwashed as she was acting. She's really like playing it up for the Sparrow.
She's ever since she's been on the show, she's been playing everyone.
Yeah,
she's really good at the Game of Thrones. So. I was curious. I mean, when she was talking with the High Sparrow, I wasn't sure. She was almost convincing me that she was really believing what was going on. But when she did go meet with her grandmother, they had a talk, and obviously Lady Tyrell's really pissed.
Yeah. And she slips her a note when she says goodbye, and it's a rose, which is their house sigil, right?
Yeah.
Basically saying, "I'm still in with you guys. Don't worry about this."
Exactly. Yeah. And so she's kind of urging her to leave the city, and then afterwards. Lady Tyrell has a scene with Cersei, and Cersei, is saying, "Oh, we need to team up." You know what I mean? We gotta take these guys down. And Lady Tyrell just lays into her, and it basically says, "You're responsible for all of this. This is your fault. You tried to, ally yourself with the Sparrows in order to try to get back at the Tyrells, and now it's all going back in your face. And that's the one good thing that's really coming of this. So it seems as if Lady Tyrell will leave." King's Landing, and she kind of says, "I'm sure you'll find your way out too. You probably should." And so it's like Cersei's trapped. She doesn't have Jaime anymore, and it seems like she may be the only person left that isn't aligned with the Sparrows at this point in the city.
Lady Tyrell really late. Like every scene that they have together, she's just like, "Oh, you're a bitch."
Yeah.
Basically, she's
understandably.
Yeah. She just hates Cersei, or not Cersei. Yeah, Cersei. She hates her so much. Oh my god. I think the worst thing about this episode, not the worst thing, but the hardest thing to watch was when Sansa and Jon were out trying to get help from the smaller houses in the north. They're struggling so much, and it's like...
It's frustrating.
Nobody knows how great Jon is.
Yeah.
And they all think that the Starks have led them astray, even though they've been screwed over at every turn.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, they're not... These houses aren't aware of all the shit that Jon and Sansa have had to go through over the last few years, and it's... they realize how great Jon was and how much, he's coming back from the dead, you know what I mean? And obviously they think he's a bastard, which, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But it'll be interesting to see, you got to take back Winterfell. And where they leave him at the end of this episode is Jon says to Sansa, "We're going to stick with what we have. We've done the best we can, and we got a few more, forces, but even though we're far below what the Boltons have, we're gonna have to go and give it our best shot." Arya
also was in Bravos still, obviously, and she went up to these, I don't know if they're fishermen or merchants or whatever, but they have a boat, and she could tell from their accent that they're from Westeros, and she throws some silver at them, and she's like, "Take me," and then she's kind of walking through the city. You see this old nun looking lady kind of walk up to her. And it's the lady from...
It's the waif.
Yeah. She stabs her in the stomach a bunch of times, and then Arya jumps over. She pushes her away, jumps over the ledge on the bridge, lands in the water. She kind of pulls herself to safety. And she's really badly... She got stabbed 3 times in the stomach.
Yeah, she's... I don't know what's gonna happen with Arya. I mean, when this happened, I was shocked. I mean, she's there on the bridge, and you see, the waif. It's clearly the waif. I mean, so she's been hunting her, and now she's coming. She's coming up behind her.
I didn't think it would happen this fast.
And I'm like, what the fuck, Arya? Like, be on guard. And so she comes up behind her, and as soon as she turns around, she gets stabbed, of course. And so, she is in a bad position right now, no doubt. Jaime Lannister has obviously left King's Landing. We established that last episode. And he has gone up to the Riverlands, and the Blackfish is holding this fortress that belongs to the Freys. And so, obviously, the Lannisters and the Freys have been allied with one another for multiple seasons now.
Yep.
And so, Jaime shows up, and the Freys are in complete disarray. They have no idea what they're doing. It's the sons of Walder, and they're basically bluffing to try to get the Blackfish, give up the castle.
They have no military skill at all.
Yeah, it doesn't work at all. So Jaime, he gets there, he says, okay, I'm completely taking over. And they have this really awesome scene where Jaime goes and has a conversation with the Blackfish on the bridge, and they're basically just discussing, how's this going to end? There's only so many ways. You can either siege, the castle and kill everyone inside, and the Blackfish will die, or Blackfish says, oh, we have 2 years of provisions, so are you willing to wait and starve us out for 2 years? Is that what's going to happen? And it was really interesting, and then it ends with the Blackfish. He says, I'm not very afraid, basically. It'll be interesting to see what happens next week. It's really do or die for Jaime at this point. Yeah. He only has so many options, as we said, so.
I don't know what they're going to do. That's going to be, I don't think it'll be a crazy battle, because it seems like they have the men to, really just beat the shit out of those guys. But we'll have to see.
Yeah.
The Greyjoys also in this were kind of in, a brothel town. Theon's, kind of being timid, and his sister was making out with one of the prostitutes, and she pushed her away, and she was like, drink this ale and drink you need to stop being a little bitch. You're not Reek anymore, you're Theon. You need to be Theon Greyjoy. And she says I need you to be Theon Greyjoy, otherwise just leave and get out of here. And basically Theon did kind of seem like he was ready to kind of go, a little bit.
Well, the main thing that was garnered from this scene between Yara and Theon was that they really are going to go across to Meereen and join Daenerys, and they're going to give her the ships, and together they're going to come back and take the Iron Islands, and we'll see. I mean, I don't know if they're going to are they really going to get over there? I mean, that'd be really interesting, because out of all the people from Westeros to first interact with Daenerys, I would never have thought it would have been Theon and the Greyjoys. So that'll be really interesting to see what happens. Just last week, Daenerys and Daario were discussing how they need 1,000 ships, and so obviously the Greyjoys, and it'll be interesting to see. Euron's obviously going to be coming after them. We haven't seen him in a few episodes, so it's a little unsure if he has any ships getting built yet or not, but we'll see what happens.
I will give this episode a 4 out of 5. A really good episode, as all Game of Thrones are. It was very story driven again this week. Not a ton going on in terms of all out, but we know the battles are coming, so I think they're saving those up. We're going to see a ton of those for the rest of the series, really. I don't have any big negatives. I think it drug a little bit, but again, it was 4 out of 5, so it's still good.
I give it 4.5 out of 5. This was a really good episode. Just the Hound reveal on its own was really, really great. They've established Jaime is going to have to do something about the Blackfish, and also the Greyjoys finally saying we are going to go try to meet up with Daenerys. That's a huge, thing going forward, obviously. Arya getting stabbed and being pretty much left for dead. We'll see what happens with that. That's a huge question mark. Who Sansa reaching out to, and is it going to be enough, for them to actually put up a significant fight? We'll see what happens.
Unfortunately, there's only 3 episodes left this season. This was episode 7 already. It seems like it just started. We will have 3 more videos for the episodes, and one probably big season discussion, I would think, to see where we started. But a lot has changed, so it's going to be a long video.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah, another great episode of Game of Thrones. I hope you all enjoyed it. Come back next week, and we'll have another video for episode 8. Thanks for watching.